Welcome to this Facebook Live of Womenshine. From today onwards, we are starting a new series wherein we'll have informal conversations. It'll not be like a normal interview, but it'll be a informal conversations which we'll do a candid chat kind of thing. So today we have with us very famous personality who's really known, and I've been following her on Facebook like anything. She wears multiple hats and she knows how to juggle them properly. She's an author, writer, blogger, dancer, because I've seen her dances also on Facebook. So let's welcome Anupama Dalmia today. And with her, we have Preeti Talwar, Dr. Preeti Talwar, who will be moderating this. And before we start, Preeti, just 1 minute of yours. There are some people who are always pushing me that to do something good in Women Shine. कि ये कर लो, ऐसे कर लो, इसको अच्छा कर, ये अच्छा होगा, ये link देखो. And Preeti, and thank you, Preeti, for this. She is one of them. She always pushes me, to go forward and do good things in Women Shine. So yes, over to you, Preeti. Just rock the show.
Thank you, Aparna. Thanks so much for this. Hi, Anupama. Welcome to this first episode of Tete-a-Tete. Well, already Aparna has given so much about you. Such a multi-talented person. When we are talking about you, it said, talent is like electricity, We can't understand what is electricity, but we can use it. Same is the case with your talent, and this important quote by Maya Angelou fits on you. See, like you are a social influencer, author, a traveler, a dancer, you name it, and you have it. So, the first question I put forward to you, like you are a techie by profession, and suddenly a paradigm shift from a techie to an entrepreneur. What propelled you towards this? Was it ingrained earlier, or while you were doing your management degree, the seeds were sown? Or how about it? So it's over to Anupama. Let us know what propelled you towards this.
Yeah. So, firstly, hello to you, Preeti, and also to everybody
Hello.
who's watching or who will be watching later. Firstly, I want to thank you all for having me here today. It's a great platform. I do follow some of the updates, and it's always wonderful to see the work that you're doing. So, coming to your question, actually, I am definitely a techie by profession, but not a techie at heart. And I think that's why that shift happened. So it is not something which was sown later. My mom says that, you were born dancing, in her words, because apparently, when I was really, really like a toddler, probably I had that thing of, just grooving to the music, and that was always there, which is why she had enrolled me for dance classes. And during those days, dance classes were not like how it's today. We didn't know so many dance forms. So I learned Bharatnatyam and Kathak. Bharatnatyam I learned for quite a few years. And that dancing passion was always there. Also writing, all of that, basically I used to do all that as a child. But, those days were different. These things always were considered as hobbies, right? Like we never really talked about pursuing a profession in these areas because they weren't ever considered stable professions. And even today, though things are changing a lot, there is so much more exposure, there are more opportunities. But even now I see with my teen students, for example, that resistance to art as a profession somewhere is still there. But yeah, it was so much more when we were young. So that's why I never really thought of those areas as my profession. And I went on to do what everybody was doing that time. So it was like either you become an engineer or a doctor. And yeah, I was always interested in computers for sure. So that is something, I'm comfortable with even now, the technical stuff, the technology stuff. So I thought, okay, if I have to do engineering, let me do it in a stream of my choice. And that's why I went for computer engineering. And then I went on to do MBA in systems and finance as a very natural progression after that, for the postgraduate degree. And I got placed in Infosys through campus placements, and it was going pretty great in Infosys. I was doing well. I was, growing also. I was also enjoying my work. Not that I wasn't enjoying, but like I said, that is not me at heart. And I just had this moment of epiphany one day, and I mean, I think it just hit that this is not me. And if not now, then when am I going to pursue my passion? And yeah, I guess that realization, right, that whatever I do in Infosys or probably in that like the corporate space, is not going to give me the kind of kick that maybe following my passion will give me. And that's how that shift happened.
That's wonderful that a person can take such a plunge that even if it is a high paying job, you can leave it and you can follow your passions. Now, we've seen that you are following a lot of passions, you are into a lot of ventures, and there are three main ventures which you are involved. Can you tell our viewers, first and foremost, which are the three ventures which you are pursuing these days?
Yeah, sure. So apart from, of course, being a writer and a digital content creator, I run three, like you said, ventures. So one is Beyond the Box, which is, I think, my most popular venture, which has been really growing at a fast pace thanks to the love of everybody. So as a part of Beyond the Box, we have been working very closely with kids to mentor them on creative writing, to develop the love for literature in them, to basically find their own voice and themselves through the medium of writing. So the purpose is not to make them authors, or that they'll get better marks in English in the exams, for example. It's a larger vision. It is more for their overall growth, and that is what we always aim to do at Beyond the Box. And we also work with adult writers, but then the core is with children. I mean, that is where my passion lies, and the team has been growing. When I started, it was me, and today we are a team of 7 people working on many, many different initiatives of Beyond the Box. We try and keep coming up with something creative and exciting all the time. And touchwood, yeah, it's being loved by everybody. The second is Rhythms and Beats. So as I said, that I'm a trained dancer. So when I resigned, I joined Shamak Dawa's institute also, because I thought I should be honing my dance skills as well before actually get on to choreographing and teaching. So I did a workshop there. I also performed for the summer funk show and stuff. And yeah, that's how then I launched my own dance enterprise called Rhythms and Beats, as a part of which I do workshops, I choreograph for events. Right now, we are gearing up for a public event to take place during the Ganesha festivities here. So yeah, that is the second one. And the third one is a special one for different reasons, because it is something I do along with my mom. So this is not exactly my passion, so to say, because I'm not at all a great cook. It is she who is the master chef, and I'm just helping her her achieve her dreams. So when I resigned to pursue my own passions, I thought, why not also help my mom draw her closer to her dreams. So we launched Tingle Your Taste Buds, which is a cookery portal where we have cooking recipes and tips and all of that. We also have come up with 2 books of ours on Kindle. So the first was Desserts to Distress, and the second, which we released recently, was Appealing Appetizers, and we are intending to continue the series. So this, like I said, this is something I do it along with my mom. We co-own the enterprise, and like I said, the purpose was mainly to make my mom also somewhere because I know that she has sacrificed a lot for us. So I thought this is the least I can do to just take her closer to her dreams. So these are the three. Apart from that, I also have my own non-profit initiative called the Building Bridges Foundation, as a part of which we work with a lot of women for their upskilling, to help them to be there, basically a safe space for them to reach out to and grow, and or probably just give them a listening ear for their problems.
This is marvelous that how you're initiating your mom into this, because today's kids generally don't think, and those were the times really our parents nurtured us and they left their aspirations behind. But bringing their aspirations to reality, marvelous, I should say. It's hats off
Thank
to
you.
you.
Thank you so much.
And since you're talking about rhythm and beats, what kind of dance forms do you teach the children? Is it, since you are a trained Bharatanatyam dancer, do you go in for classical dancing, or is it just normal, different kinds of moves or something? Can you tell us
Yeah,
more in
so
detail?
most of the times we do theme based workshops. So
Okay.
depending on the theme of that particular workshop, the dance styles change. So I have also done lyrical contemporary, Indian contemporary, different dance styles which come under the branch of hip hops, and of course, our Bollywood dance as well, because I think there's
Oh,
nothing more fun than that. And
right.
yeah, so a lot of these dance forms, like for example, I've also done the swing dance style in one of my workshops. So whatever is the theme, I pick the dance style according to that, and the aim is always to do something different again over there, because I do it for ladies also, so not just children, but I've also done quite a few workshops for ladies, and I love that enthusiasm, and I just love to see how dancing brings so much happiness to everyone. I think, and that's why the tagline of Rhythms and Beats is "We make your soul dance." Because I always tell, it doesn't matter technically, how good you are or not, as long as your soul and you're happy from
Yeah.
within. I think that is what is the purpose of dancing. I think it can just be the answer to so many things. So yeah, that's what.
Right, right. So you are into a lot of, you're catching them all young, and yeah, I think since you're based out of Hyderabad, do you have these online dance also, or is it only for the physical people based out of Hyderabad, or
That's a good question, because so what happened was, before the pandemic, I never did online for anything. Like even
right?
beyond the box, which is now very heavily, like I would say, online uh, uh, dependent, and there's such a huge online presence. But before the pandemic, for me, it was always like I can't connect, yeah, online. I was of that mindset. Of course, the pandemic changed everything. We all had to adapt to the online scenario. But the thing was that, with dancing, I somehow never really connected much online, because so when the pandemic started, I had got an offer to do a corporate workshop, dance related. I also did a couple of, event choreographies online. But it somehow, I don't know, I didn't enjoy that, because I was like, the only thing I'm worrying about is whether my hand is visible, whether my leg is visible, whether the movement is clear. So I decided that, let me just take a break from this for a while. There's no use of doing it in a forced way, because I was doing pretty well in a lot of other things, so as a writer, or even as beyond a part of Beyond the Box, lots was going on. So there were a lot of things to keep me busy. So I thought, okay, let me just give Rhythms and Beats a backseat for the moment. And I focused on all of that, which was working very well in the pandemic. And then now that everything is back to normal, I've resumed. So yes, when it comes to dance, I prefer being in person. But for Beyond the Box and other related, events or anything, I'm okay with online. So it's just the dancing thing where somehow I wasn't very comfortable online. So yeah, it is all offline, and the physical
Offline?
presence is required.
Okay, okay. So even with Beyond the Box, like you are catching kids young,
Yes.
helping them find their voice. So what kind of styles, like writing styles, are so many. Like you have creative writing styles and other kinds of styles. What do you exactly come out with? Like you want to inculcate a lot of writing, reading in children. What
Yes.
can you just tell us a little in
To
detail?
be very honest, everything, I just feel create, because see, I'm a writer myself, and creative
Right.
writing is vast, like from forms to styles to techniques to, literary I mean, there's so much in that entire umbrella. So
Right.
we cover everything, and that is why actually, I have had students who've been attending my classes for 6 years. And there's a joke also
Wow.
that, abhi retirement leke jao, ab ho gaya now, like let the new batches, the
Yeah.
new come in and all. So because the thing is, we keep learning something new. Also, I revisit concepts with the kids. Writing is something you cannot get something just at once. You have to
Yeah.
practice.
Right.
It could be a
Right.
simple concept, but it takes time to get better at it. So we also revisit concepts a lot, and we do it in a very fun and interactive atmosphere, because the idea is to make them enjoy that process. To That is why the tagline of Beyond the Box is unboxing the joy of writing, because that's the whole purpose. So in terms of the styles, forms, like I said, we do everything. In fact, even our book projects, for example, we have different ones. So there's a Box of Tales, which is a series of short stories that the kids write, which we publish. Then there is Beyond Verses, which is for poetry. Then there is BTB Talkies, which is for audiobooks, because see, times are changing, and a lot of new technology, or say, the kinds of reading, or what generally the reading habits are also changing, right? So we also need to evolve with that. So yeah, we do everything, like I said, all that is possible. We try to expose kids to um, you know um, the ultimate thing is that they should be very comfortable with the idea of writing. They should be very confident about their articulation, their thoughts, and fearlessly, basically, they should be able to express without really thinking about, oh my God, what someone is going to say, or is some adult going to judge me. So, like I said, this is just the medium. The purpose is basically to help them find their voice. And even when it comes to literature, we talk about all kinds of books, whatever possible. There is, like, we have very open discussions on different kinds of literature, different genres of books. So, yes, like I said, there is just everything, whatever is possible. And I learned so much also, I've realized along this way, because
Exactly.
I think when you teach, you also learn so much.
Learn, you
Yeah,
learn, right?
it's a very, I would say, a co-learning process that we have.
No, it's wonderful because today's kids generally don't enter into that arena. They do not like reading or writing because it's all about social media or gadgets. And I think you're doing a wonderful job because
Thank,
to harness the creativity at such a young age is a talent in itself. And I think that you are doing.
thank you so much.
Then
That really means
you're
a lot.
most welcome. And this your tingle your taste buds, maybe like your mom had this aspiration to open a restaurant, and then gradually you pushed her into it. Like what all kind, like you have these cookbooks, do you have workshops etc also to teach young women or ladies about cooking, basic skills of cooking, or is it just putting in recipes or something?
So for Tingle Your Taste Buds, the thing is, as I said, that my expertise is not in the cooking area. So the thing is, now my mom is not very comfortable with, like she became an entrepreneur at the age of almost 60. So, slowly she has been getting a hang of things. And even now she's not so comfortable with going out there and talking. Like, even if now I ask her to, come here and talk about what she's doing, she'll be shy. She'll say, you talk. My job is to give you all the chef related content and information. So because of that, there are a certain limitations, and so we don't do workshops for Tingle Your Taste Buds. And that's why I came up with the idea of having books, because there she doesn't really have to come out and talk in front of so many people, or speak to them about it. So the portal basically has recipes and tips. We also do collaborations, and yeah, so we have these books. But having said that, my mom is always very open to help out and teach. So though she's not really done workshops, we've had a lot of our subscribers, or people who follow, reach out, and she's always one-on-one kind of been very very open to helping people out, or guiding them. Especially, the vision of Tingle Your Taste Buds actually is that it is to make the process of cooking simple, because sometimes we've seen that those who are new to cooking, they can get
Yeah,
overwhelmed at times, with little elaborate recipes, or something that has a lot of ingredients. So the whole vision at the beginning when we started this was to make the process of cooking easy, and make everybody realize that everyone can cook up something simple, and yet it can be very tasty. It doesn't have to be simple, doesn't mean it's
yeah.
not tasty or appealing. So that's how, so she's always very open to kind of guide or
I
help
I
anybody. But maybe
I
in the
think one
future,
should.
if she's more, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was saying maybe in the future, if she's more comfortable, who knows, she might actually be willing for these workshops also.
No, I think one suggestion should be there. Since I meet a lot of women and young girls who are really scared to enter that kitchen, it's some kind of a test which really
Hawa, yeah,
makes
yeah,
them
yeah.
shudder. So I think you should make one kind of a program for young brides to be, or young girls, where they can
That's a
learn the
great
hacks.
suggestion.
Thank you. Because what I'm seeing is that people do feel scared. Even the small hacks, like YouTube is full of it. But people like your mom, who are so well versed with it, can definitely help these young girls and brides to be in the near future. Since you are not talking about social visions which you have, and you're helping women empower themselves, what kind of help do you impart to these women? Like, what kind of women come to you, and what kind of help are you giving to them?
I'm glad you asked this because I'm sure, maybe some women who are watching or who may watch actually also might need some help. So that way, I'm
Yeah,
glad I am able to talk about this. So I'll tell you how it kind of started before I tell you how I helped. So when I started blogging, I used to primarily, blog about either social issues or my own experiences as a mom. And I
right,
wanted to shatter the super mom myth, and a lot of
right,
things. So uh, my intention was to keep it really real in my blogs, and I think that started connecting a lot with my readers, which is why a lot of my blogs that time went viral also. So what happened was a lot of these women, they started reaching out to me on DMs, like personally, that we read this and we have gone through something. And then I would like kind of hear them out, maybe sometimes just give them that lending, like we say, like shoulder to cry sometimes, or just went out sometimes. If I would sometimes give them some suggestions as well. The thing is, before that, when I had resigned, I was also involved in the rehabilitation of human trafficking survivors at an
okay,
NGO. And that time I had undergone certain trainings, and one of the things that we were taught that time was, how do you talk to somebody in distress, or someone who's gone through something, because even that is not something we all are really, we know we may want to, but not all of us really know how we should approach that, right? So because I
right,
had that kind of training, when these women reached out to me, I think somewhere they started feeling comforted. And it just kind of became a very informal things, like one person would tell the other that, oh, I spoke to Anupama, you talk to her, you may feel better. And it kind of just happened very informally. And then one day I realized that, why not make this something more organized, more like where we can do much more instead of just keeping it very random the way it was happening. And that's how it happened, building bridges. And so what we do basically is two things. One is upskilling. So for example, we conduct sessions for women on, say it could be financial, and these are all like voluntary. These are basically for women who cannot afford to maybe pay for sessions for whatever reason. Maybe the situation at home is like that, or some other personal issues. So yeah, these are all voluntary, so we don't charge for them. So we do sessions on, say, personal financial planning, making women aware of how they can be a little more financially independent, how they can be on top of their finances. Then we do sessions on entrepreneurship, a lot of them. That is something we do a lot. So many things come under entrepreneurship, and there are many women who want to start out. So we kind of do hand holding, we help them, we guide them. Then we also do, say, sessions on their health. So there are many things, right? So we focus on upskilling, how they can make their lives better. And sometimes they just want to reach out to, like I said, just vent it out, or kind of just have a friend whom they can reach out to just share and have those talks. So we do that as well. And if needed, if we feel that someone is going through a big problem at home and having mental health issues because of that, we also then connect them to reliable therapists, say, or whatever. So that's what we've been doing. And yeah, I don't talk a lot about this on social media, because many women who reach out to us, they have the constraint of not revealing their identities, because most of them are in some kind of problem or in a kind of relationship where they cannot afford to do that. So we don't keep it a lot out there for the privacy reasons. But yes, we've been doing a lot of this, and I'm glad. So I think as of today, we have been personally able to reach out to around close to 300 women, as a part of these the connections that we have, in terms of guiding them, maybe, or upskilling them, or, like I said, just maybe helping them out in whatever way possible.
this is too good. I mean, you're giving so much of a shoulder and you're helping women out. It is a big thing, Very few people can give a shoulder and help women really when they're in agony. And you are doing a great job. When I talk about you, I feel your palette is full so much. I want to know a day in the life of Anupama Dalmia. What would it be like?
Anupama Dalmia also doesn't know the day in the life of Anupama Dalmia, because it is so varying. I'll just take today's example. It started with me submitting a commissioned article to a platform. After that, I had to work on the editing of a book project which we are working on, and then after that, I had a meeting for a social project. Like I also, because I'm also in the advisory board of some other NGOs. So yeah, there was a meeting related to that. Then after that, I took a creative writing class for a child. Then I'm having this live, and immediately after this live, I'll be going for my dance practice for the dance event that's coming up. So that is how it is. But not all days are like that, I would say. But yeah, still it is more or less hectic. But I think I've found a way to somehow, keep it all in control. You have to let go of certain things also, I've realized. Like, I mean, it's all about prioritizing and sticking by them.
Right.
So for example, I don't get time to watch TV shows or movies. I know so many people keep discussing about the series that have been coming up, and I never have anything to contribute because I don't get time for that. But I'm okay with it. So like I said, it's all about your own priority, what you want and what matters to you, and then sticking by it. So I think that's how I
Right.
like
I'm
work
saying, for me, I'm just saying, few. How do you manage it?
it.
But, but one mantra I would like to ask you, since those positive vibes, so much energy, what is the reason behind it? Is it Sankara or something else that does that does the trick? You must share it with our viewers. We must know how to go about it.
Okay, so I must say that actually everybody asks me this honestly, and I have realized that actually my energy comes from children. So I'm always surrounded by kids a lot, not just my own daughter who is 7 years old, but even all my students. Like my entire day, like either they'll be calling for some guidance, some doubt, something. They become like my friends also. So I'm always like so much surrounded by kids that I feel, they bring in a lot of positive vibes and energy,
Energy, right?
and they keep you on your toes because kids themselves are like that, right? So I
Yeah,
feel this is probably one of the biggest sources of my energy, and like you said, the positivity. Because see, as adults, I don't think we really, all of us, can
yeah,
always be positive, and it is okay
yeah,
also not to always be positive. But yeah, with the kids, it is also very
yeah.
innocent, and it is also pure,
Innocent.
right? That I think it I like that. So I mean, a lot of my friends also joke at times that you're spending more time with our children instead of us, like. And
But
but I think
uh,
that works well for me.
yeah, it does. Since they're so vivacious, they
Yeah.
exude so much of energy. And then I think staying in a young environment makes you young.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
hope
It brings out the child in you
child
unabashedly.
in
Because
you,
I think, yeah,
right?
that is
Otherwise, we are
very.
always pondering. We are morose. If we stay too much in the adult company, I think we would be always morose. We would always be
Right,
pondering about
right.
small things. One question to you:
Sure.
you have a repertoire of innumerable writings. One writing or one book which is very close to your heart. Just a little for our viewers. Can you just give a sample of your little write up?
Okay, so this was very difficult for me to choose, like I said, because I've written a lot of blogs and even
I
contributed to
know.
books, and also it was too hard to choose something. I won't say that the one I'm reading out is my favorite. There are many which are special for different reasons, but I just had this book with me right now, and I thought it would be just good to read out a few lines from it. So this is from a book called Arising from the Dust, and my writer was featured in this as a curtain raiser for the book. It is a non-fiction piece. Like I mean, it's about how in life, how we must be very willing to evolve, and we must be very willing to see our flaws. So it is about that. Maybe I'll just read a few lines. So
Sure.
realizations, acceptance, evolution. It's a difficult cycle. It can be daunting and emotionally onerous to get to the first stage itself. Sometimes our inflated egos come in the way. At times, it is denial playing havoc with our minds. Other times, it is a false notion about ourselves that deflects us from our trajectories. We tend to believe we are right without a frank self examination because, after all, we view our own selves with a lens of convenience or gloss. We grasp at straws and find justifications as it makes us feel good about our persona. We want to be happy campers when it comes to us. Exposing ourselves in front of the mirror without any coating requires strength, gumption, and an honest awareness. We may find puddles of mess. We may see rawness that may not make for a pretty unblemished reflection. We might want to turn our eyes away from the darkness staring right back at us, because, incontestably, all this shakes the very foundation of the image we have painstakingly built for ourselves through the years without realizing that this image is an illusion which will break someday into smithereens, piercing through the very core it echoes. Realizations, acceptance, evolution. Yes, it's a difficult cycle. But if we can go through the process with an open mind and unwavering faith, we will rise from where it takes us. The darkness will pave the way for the light. The mess will bring an order within. The rawness will soothe the sore heart. We will become better. We will do better. We will become closer to what we are in essence. Thank you.
That's
Beautiful, beautiful.
beautiful.
It's just beautiful.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Now, I will have to wind up this and wrap up this beautiful episode. Though I don't feel like going at all, we would have loved to keep on chatting with Anupama, but the time
Obviously.
goes on.
Yes,
So
yes.
we must
It
tell our
was
viewers,
very, yeah, it was very wonderful, Anupma. It was, I think this is what multi-dimensional person is, right, Preeti?
yes, right. She has too much on her palette, and
Thank
we
Yeah,
you.
are
Thank you.
really
Really
we are motivated, and I think we all should take some inspiration from Anupama Dalmia today, and
absolutely. Yeah.
a leaf from her life would do wonders for all of us, I think. So on
thank
this
you for the
note,
kind words. Yeah, and it was a
uh,
pleasure talking to you today, Preeti, and thanks Aparna
thank you
also
so
for
much.
having
The
me and giving
pleasure
this
was
opportunity.
mine, totally, totally. And
Thank you, Preeti, and thank you, Anupa, for taking out
thank
time.
you,
I think
thank you,
you must
thank you,
be
Aparna.
rushing now after this. So, all
Yeah,
the best.
yeah, and
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah.
yeah.
All
Bye,
right.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.